Please say clock without moving your tongue. I'm gonna make this into a video because I need content, because I am lame. So I thought, why not try something new and make a tier list? I'm just trying it out. It's gonna take probably 30 minutes at most to do this, but I'm gonna go through all these SCPs, people like to call them those. And I'm going to be basically talking about their mechanics in game. I'm not talking about them just based on the documents. I'm talking about how they work in game, how they interact with the player and all that, whatever it may be. Literally, like this thing. Well, I don't know what this tablet thing is. Apparently, it exists. I'm pretty sure it's in 035's chamber. So I'm just going to put it in literally stupid because I don't know what it does. So if I don't know what it does, then it's going in literally stupid. This one's 008, the zombie virus. It exists. It's okay. The only thing it really serves is just one thing that you have to do in the game. Not scary at all. First encounter, I'm gonna be honest, I just did it without thinking. I just kind of went in there, did it, and I'm like, what does it do? What does that do? The music, honestly, I'm gonna put the music above the zombie virus. I don't know if you're gonna agree with me on that, but I agree with myself. It like pulls you in, and I think that's pretty unique. That's cool. Definitely a confusing situation for new players if they just stumble upon it. The mask one, not dream, but the mask one, I'm gonna put it above the music because it's not scary. I like that it gives you a choice in game whether to let him out or not, or torture him. But as for in-game mechanics, he doesn't really do anything. You'll let him go, and then if you let him go, you might run into the dead body later on. Character's not useful at all. I don't think you can actually pick up the mask. 049, I hate 049 a lot, actually. I'm gonna put it above the music because this is like something that constantly pursues you, right? He is scary. He's very scary sometimes, especially in his little area. I mean, it's cool that he has a voice. That's about it. All he does is chase you with a slow-ass turn speed. It's easy to get away from him. He's just annoying. He's basically just a nerfed version of 106, which I'll get to in a moment. 049-2, I'm gonna put it above the zombie virus. I'm gonna put it there because it's just a zombie. It just appears once in the game, in one section of the game, and might cause issue there. It was surprising when I first saw it. Huh? But that was the extent of it. I don't see why I'd put them anywhere that high. 066. I'm gonna, I love this guy. Why am I putting this guy so high on the list? Because it's funny. It is so funny. Who? It's scary at first. You see, it's scary. It's just a ball of flesh rolling around. And you're like, oh shit, what is that? My name is Eric. Yes, I'm Eric. Yes, that's definitely my name. And then you kind of just realize, oh, I could just walk around it. He's just kind of there. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this ear-piercing, like, funny ear rape. Loud equals funny. I beg your pardon. What was that? I can't hear anymore. 079. Yeah, I'm gonna put it low mid tier, mainly because it's similar to the zombie concept. You come across them once. It's cool that, in the story, he's the reason for the entire containment breach, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about the story. I'm talking about in-game. In-game literally does nothing. It just makes the game a lot more complicated. You have to go into entrance zone, flip a switch, go back, visit him, then leave. Go back to the thing where you flip the switch, then leave. But you only encounter this thing once, and you don't even need to sit in the room that he's in. You could just leave. Oh, crap. I don't remember the number for this one. I'm honestly not going off the numbers for some of these. The Book of Diseases. I love this one. I love the concept of this one, and just for that, I'm putting it above 049, lower than 035, because I think it's just funny that you can look at this book and just become Walter White. You can get lung cancer just from looking at it. And I think that's hilarious. I feel like anybody who's ever played an SCP game knows where this guy's going, so I'm gonna put him in the back. I'm gonna explain why he's the best later. The Bear. I'm gonna be honest. If we were ranking when they appear in SCP Lab Rat, is it gonna start twerking or something? This guy would be obviously the best. Since we're only talking about regular SCP containment breach, I'm gonna put it on high mid tier because he doesn't dance. The Ear Bear, I'm gonna put it here because I remember initially this thing scared the shit out of me. Right? I just remember seeing this little thing standing in the middle of a hallway, and then it screamed, and I don't know if I died or not. I probably did, knowing me. 106. 106 I'm gonna put above 066 because when I remember I first encountered him, I was terrified. Go. Good evening. Go. Just go. Okay, I gotta get out of here. One, because the sounds are terrifying. And the fact that he can go through walls, I think that's also just a really cool mechanic of his. And that's, you know, that's pretty basic stuff. It's a horror game. You're gonna be chased by some guy. But I also like the fact that he has a pocket dimension. It's cool that you can go into this pocket dimension and immediately be launched into heavy containment. And for a first-time player, that is terrifying. Thank God I had some people here to watch me play it originally, because I was gonna save after I got out of that pocket dimension the first time, and I would have been stuck in heavy containment. That would have been terrible. Upon initially dealing with him and not knowing what the hell he does, it's honestly just a great character in the game. The mechanics are great. The sound design is amazing. The skull, there's gonna be a lot of mid-tiers here. I'm gonna put it in between the mask, so with the mask and the ear bear. It's just a fun experience. It's just something stupid. You touch the skull, you get sent to Nazi Germany. I almost said something that could get me canceled. You've got the funny hole here. It exists. It's terrible. I hate this. I hate this guy. I honestly hate this guy. I hate this thing so much. It has no use other than stealing your items upon like first running into it. That's why I'm not putting it in literally stupid. 1499, lowish top tier. I could talk about all the things that it does, but I honestly love this thing for what it doesn't do. Because they could have easily made this a super overpowered item, because you can evade Nine-Tailed Fox, you can evade 106, 173. There are certain characters such as 049 that aren't affected by it. I think that's pretty cool. I also like the fact that you can't stay in there very long or you'll die. 173, it's not the best, but it's second best in my opinion, just because of how terrifying the entire concept is. The fact that you need to look at this guy or he'll kill you. I had never ever dealt with a weeping angel situation in a video game before, but this was very scary. You open a door and then blink, you could be killed. If it's a Keter run, you're screwed. The sound design is amazing. Okay, all right. Alert noises you get when he's near you. Even the sound of him breaking your neck is it's just good. The sound design for this character was so well done. The lights, I'm gonna put it above the tablet. I don't like the lights at all. Actually, the tablet's above this one, because I'm pretty sure the tablet will get you the amulet. Coffee machine, I'm gonna put it on high mid tier, just because you can't get everything, I don't think. The liquid gold, you'll get liquid gold. Ooh, I drank a cup of liquid gold. I'm dead now. This guy, I fucking hate this guy. I'm gonna put him low mid tier, because the only reason you go into this guy's room is to get a code. This guy's annoying, but he does deliver a good scare every once in a while. I think throughout my playthrough, this thing scared the crap out of me. It's also just a useless SCP, you know? It's just one for scares. But, you know, the fact that it scares you, I think that's enough to bring it up on the list. SCP-420J. So it's just another fun one. I'm gonna put it right under the book. And yes, the weed is better than 049. You smoke it, you get music. You get funny music. You know what? Actually, no, it's lower. The amulet. If you wear this thing for too long, you will slowly become just a giant tumor. The fact that it kills you already puts you at that it exists, but the fact that it can make you immune to 008, I'm gonna put it lower. I'm just gonna put it, no, I'm gonna put it right above the zombie virus. Even in a normal playthrough, you can't even run into this thing. You need to put the pill, which is next, through 914. It's just something too out of your way for first-time players that you're not gonna get it. The pill, I'm gonna put it here above 049 because it heals all wounds. That's literally it. Probably the zombie virus as well, I would assume. It's one of the more useful items in the game. The bell, I'm gonna put it above the locket. Most first-time players, including myself, probably rang the bell. And even at the bottom, he will come.
Oh no!
He will come? What do you mean he will come? I'm not, oh, fuck you. What's going on? Get rid of the bell, get rid of the bell. Now, the bell is not good. And he did. Scary, very scary. I'm gonna classify the bell as both the bell and the little ghost thing you see. It spooked me a couple times, I'll give it that. There's only one real way I can go, isn't there? Oh, hi. There's only one real way. This is gonna be controversial. It's the worst one in the game. It's the worst one in the game for a good reason. That's the fact that it doesn't appear. Those noises of it stomping around weren't even scary to me. So I'm just gonna put 682 at the very bottom because it sucks. So the ring, I'm gonna put it above the amulet. No, I'm gonna put it there. You learn about it, what it does, you probably put it on when SCP-049 is near, because I did that. But it makes you so exhausted in game that like you can't run, and it makes it useless. I bet if you put it on with the gas mask, like the upgraded one, it probably would be good. I don't see a purpose for it other than, ooh, cool shiny thing. Now, I forget which SCP this is, but there is a toilet SCP. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if the toilet is still in the game, but I do know what it did. It basically had a voice. It's like a face in a toilet. It basically said, I'm gonna eat your butt. The key itself, I feel like it's a tier above all this stuff just because it's like a safety item. I knew the key was important! Wait a minute. I'm not outside, am I? Oh, shit. Okay. There's a paper there. There's definitely an SCP in here. There are definitely instances in which, like maps in which you need to go through that dimension, that wooden door, because there might not be any other alternate route. I'm pretty sure my original playthrough was like that, and I did a playthrough recently where I needed to go through that every time I wanted to get to that little corner room. If you don't pick it up, I feel like you're stupid. Please say clock without moving your tongue. Clock. Oh, fuck. 860-1. This guy is actually pretty scary. Oh, shit. No. I'm gonna combine the forest with this guy. I think that's the best way of doing it. It's terrifying. The forest alone is scary, but the fact that you could just turn around and this thing will be there to kill you, that's kind of scary. You can also see him like lurking in the corner of your eye, like up by the trees. I've seen it multiple times. That's not good. I'm not doing that. What was that? And it was scary. It was really scary. You know, it's a good spook. The Coffin. It exists. 914. It's just super useful. Not scary at all, but it is useful as hell. For like every item, I'm pretty sure, SCP or not, you can put through this thing and it will change it. You put a med kit in there on fine, you get a small med kit which heals you more, I guess. You put the gas mask in there on very fine, you can now run infinitely. You can also kill yourself with it, which is pretty sick. 939, I think is the number for this one. I'm gonna put it right between this guy and this guy. The main reason I'm doing that is because of my original experience with it. I remember hearing the voices of the janitor, and I remember originally thinking that the voices that I was hearing was actual people that I could like save. Who's there? Who's talking to me? There's someone else in here. I don't know what to do. No, it's these guys. And once you realize that these guys are the ones making the voices, they're a little less menacing, but they're still really freaky looking. They aren't very easy to escape from, or so I'm told. I've never actually had an encounter where I was able to escape because I usually just stop in my tracks when they find me. But yeah, pretty freaky looking guy. These guys, they're just nuisances, but I think they're very unique. So I'm gonna put them below 049. Disclaimer, these guys suck. Its time is now. What in the absolute buffoonery? They suck a whole lot of nuts and balls. But the fact that, like, you get the little text being like, you feel something in the room with you, or you feel something breathing right next to you, and then you, like, get hurt. It makes the night vision goggles a little bit more useful, I guess. You can only see them through night vision goggles, too, which is cool. I don't know how they were able to code that, but that's cool. Makes them a little bit more unique than your average 049. Actually, no, I'm putting them above 049. 970, I think this is what this one is. The looping rooms, they're utterly useless, but it's a cool spectacle. But I'm still gonna put it in this tier. It exists, right? It's a cool spectacle, definitely cooler than any of the other stuff here. I just hate how it takes forever to get to the really creepy parts of this sequence. Most people probably go through it once or twice, you know, oh, the room's loop, ooh, spooky. If you keep going through it, you see weird ass shit, and I like that. This guy, I think this guy's stupid, but he's high stupid tier. You probably don't know who this is. He is literally a loading screen. Moving on, the ducks. We're almost to the end, guys. The ducks, obviously, I'm gonna put them right next to Eric. I'm actually gonna put him above Eric. Now, sure, in my playthroughs, every time I ran into him, I'd tell him to shut the fuck up. Because that's just what I do. It's called comedy. He's pretty chill. He appears, he makes noise, it's a little spectacle. And it definitely is good to help a tense situation. Like, say you're running from this little bitch down here, and you just, you know, you hear it go, funny little guy. Now, the greatest. You probably already knew. If you're an SCP fan, you knew who this top guy was gonna be right out the gate. It's 096. He's the best SCP in the game, in my opinion. And sure, my opinion might be wrong. It's not, but it might be wrong. 096 is the most terrifying in this game. It is literally the exact opposite to 173. 173 is, what if you couldn't take your eyes off this thing or it would kill you? 096 is, what if just looking at his face killed you? And that's terrifying as is, because you could just be minding your own goddamn business and open a door and he's just there and you stare into his eyes and you have to accept your fate that you're dead. But like, that's not enough though, right? That's not enough to make this guy the best. And it's not. The sound design really makes this guy shine. And I really do wish there were instances where I would just open a door and he would just be there. But the thing is, whenever he's near, you hear this crying. You hear him crying, sobbing, whatever you want to call it, with this little drone, like in the background. It's like I don't know what it is. It's like him screaming. It's like faded out and reverbed. I'm not sure, but it's just unpleasant because when you hear that, you have to look down. You don't have to, but you usually look down at the ground, and just trying to figure out where he is while looking down is terrifying, right? And then you'll run into his feet. Oof, that's never pleasant. Just catching a glimpse at literally the corner of your screen, like 5 pixels on your screen, I wouldn't be surprised if that counted as you seeing him. Even if it's for half a second, you see him, and immediately the noises, they kick in. And the noises, they slowly but surely increase in like volume, and more unpleasant sounds are added. You hear a scream and whatnot. If you're running away while this is happening, you will also hear from a distance him getting, you know, riled up. And once he's triggered and starts chasing you, you hear nothing but his screams. He also breaks down doors, which is terrifying. There is nothing that will stop him from killing you. And in the VR version of the game, sadly this isn't in the original version of the game, at least I don't think, you can get a photo of 173, put it in 914, and if you put it through 914, out comes a picture of 096, and that will trigger him, which is cool, but we're not talking about that game. I really wish that was in the original game. That would be a really cool addition. Not only that, the triggering event, there are 2 triggering events. He will either trigger in heavy containment when you walk into his room. It'll be a similar thing to if you looked at him, but a guard sees his face and he starts screaming, he attacks the guard, blood everywhere. And then he starts sobbing. Oh, balls. Oh, this. I don't want to play anymore. And it's just very scary. If you don't actually run into his room, there is a room in the entrance zone. It's a big empty room with blood all over the place. If you haven't triggered his event in heavy containment, he will spawn there upon you entering that room in entrance zone, and he will just be sitting there sobbing, I guess, and he just gets up and probably looks at you. It's freaky. The guy is freaky. But I do love the fact that there are probably tons of maps where you can encounter him, but there's also plenty of maps where you actually don't. I was doing a run the other day. I was towards the end of the run and I realized I hadn't run into 096 a single time. I didn't even trigger either of his events. And I like that. I like that there are maps and instances where you actually don't run into it. I feel like this is a character that really makes the game what it is. The characters that really make this game are 096, 173, and 106. I feel like it's just those 3 that really make this game great, which is fitting because they're literally top 3. And I didn't even plan for that, to be completely honest. The toilet, I'm gonna move the toilet down. This is my tier list for all the SCPs and SCP Containment Breach. I guess any tier list recommendations you might want me to do, it doesn't have to be based on video games. It could be based on literally anything. Just let me know. That's it. That's the stream. That's what I did for the stream. You can leave now. I'm gonna go to, no, I'm not gonna go to bed. That's a lie. I'm gonna go get something for my throat.